Now if you see the movie, The Pianist, which is based on an autobiographical book with the same name, based on the life of Herr Spillman, the movie comes across to the screen from the borrowed lens of a Polish Jew living in Warsaw during World War II. His fit of losing his job, losing his family, then almost being at the verge of death, and surviving eventually with the help of a German officer Wilhelm Hosenfeld. What made his existence possible despite being a Jew in Poland during the war was his ability to play piano. Most people helped him because they knew or discovered how exceptional he was as a pianist. Did you notice that the theme of Holocaust remains same? What changes here are the storyteller, and it amazes me how different stories can glue you through time, and it feels that you were also a part of that story. Now let us take the story of Inglourious Basterds, a 2009 movie by the great storyteller Quentin Tarantino, who is also the writer and director of this great piece of art. I was amazed how this idea of creating alternate history popped into the head of Mr. Tarantino. Conforming to a norm and portraying history is one thing in movies, but even the inception and creation of an alternate history where once the Jews and American were taking vengeance against the Nazi Germany leadership with Slayer's bomb. The theme is the same, Holocaust and the disaster happening in World War II. But the story is game changer, and best of all, developing this creative masterpiece with such a sensitive subject is worth a million praise. I would also like to add few excerpts from Quentin Tarantino sir's interview on his outlook on certain subjects related to this movie.
One of the I think the great moves of this film is that every nationality that's portrayed in the film is true to their language, instead of the conceit that that everyone speaks English with some accent.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And so Germans are speaking German. And
going on. But you have to realize something. When it comes to World War II movies, Germans are used to cringing, all right? That is their constant state of being. They are used to watching these movies through the eyes of guilt, all right? And that is always how it is. Well, there becomes this moment in the film where the laughs kind of start, and then they kind of keep going, and they keep going, and then all of a sudden you actually had a German audience thinking to themselves, wait a minute, I'm actually watching a World War II movie that I'm allowed to enjoy. I'm actually allowed to laugh at this. I'm actually allowed to enjoy this movie. I'm actually not looking through eyes of guilt. I'm actually into this story. And it ended up being a very liberating thing for the theater.
See, storytelling has different forms. It is the creator's magic that awaits it, so that it can make you cry, laugh, smile, or be completely bewildered. Thank you so much for watching, and watch part 3 also.